Hi, Cendrine.
Hi, Lorraine.
How are you today?
Yes, I'm great. Thank you. I'm very happy to connect with you.
Cool, that's great. I,
Yeah.
I thank you for agreeing to talk to us today about your journey and what that's meant for you and the things that you've experienced. It's really great that you can make the time to do that. Um, so, would you like to start by maybe telling us a little bit about you? Who are you?
It's such a vast question. So my name is Cendrine, and I'm an ascension mentor, and I do trance channeling as well of some galactic beings that are called the Arcturians. And I'm from Belgium originally. I've been
Mhm.
living in New Zealand for 12 years, and I really love it. So I'm a mom to two daughters. They are 11 and 9. And I'm single mom, and I absolutely love my life. Of course, I do have my challenges and uh, difficulties. Like one of them being, I think, one of biggest heartache a person could have is to, lose a close relative. So my mom passed 5 months ago after a year of disease, like very sudden and just like crashed.
Mhm.
But as the universe does, it was perfectly orchestrated because she was sick for a year and I managed to pull all the funds to be able to go back 3 times and be there for her. And I was actually by her side. For the last, moments of her life.
Mm.
And it was just before, all this craziness with the COVID-19 happened. And I was sharing with my siblings how lucky we were that mom passed in, those circumstances so we could have proper funerals. So my heart goes to all the people who had, didn't have that chance now because I really, like, would really feel like kind of in the collective. Sometimes I feel like what we have been going through is, yes, it's scary, but it's mostly like we cannot connect in the human ways that we need to connect to feel better and reassured, like with the hugs and the love and the cuppa and
Yeah.
all these things. So, yeah, so I completely sidetracked to that. Yeah, my sole mission is to be 100% full-time channel, and I'm working on it. So I'm also massage therapist and yoga teacher, but interestingly, like I'm completely pivoting. My heart is not connected to that any longer. And yes, a lot of you, that come as a surprise, like people, because I'm supposed to go back to massaging and teaching yoga, but the more I tune into it, the more it's like, no, let's cut all of that and let's trust the universe and go into full-time channeling, which is quite kind of what I'm doing at the moment. But it's like, get to pay the bills as well. Like
Yep.
that we come. So yeah.
So, can you, for somebody who perhaps doesn't know much about it, what is channeling? What does that involve?
So there are two different ways of channeling, and we can all channel, by the way, like it's because we are human beings, so we have a body and we can welcome another being in our body,
Okay.
or through our body, we can simply receive signals from a being that's there. So a lot of people would come to me or like they share around them that they can kind of see spirits and it's super freaky. Very often it's the first step. So I say, if it happens to you, rejoice. It shows that your intuition is opening, and it's just like learning to handle that, to master that, and realize that they're light beings as well. They just have forgotten. So basically it already shows that your intuition is opening and that you can feel, like spirits around you. And I would just say, like, we want to channel higher frequency beings, like basically our spirit guides or angels, and then galactic beings. Some people want to connect with people who have passed. That's sometimes a bit difficult, but we can listen to guides that are there for us. So all of us, we have a team. It's not just one. Usually it's like 5, or some people have hundreds or thousands of galactic beings working for them. But we can 100% establish connection. So it's like with everything in life, we just need to practice, and there's no secret to it. Like if we never meditate, if we never pray, if we not kind of tune the channel, it's remember like a radio station. If we never switch that radio station on, then we're never going to listen, basically.
Yeah.
So if people are interested in getting into channeling, I would just say, like, get in silence, silence, like wash the dishes in silence, eat in silence, walk in silence. Like, just silence is what's allowing us to hear, but as well start seeing things differently. So most people, when they channel, is channeled beside, like the beings is beside their body. So when I used to work as a psychic, that's what I would do. Like most of the time, I just kind of channel messages that I receive and images I see. But now with the Arcturians, it's actually the head of the healing council is coming inside my body. And you can see that I go in a trance, or I do like a breath work. It's very intense for people watching. It's like, oh, what the hell is she doing? But it allows me to shift the frequency. So then this galactic being can come inside my body. And then when he's there, I kind of make all this weird noise and sounds and stuff like that. And I speak differently as well. Sometimes like I'm channeling, transmitting messages. And then I have this part of me in my mind like, is it really what I say? What the hell is going on? Really? Should I be saying this? And then I was like, oh, let's stay centered so I can allow the flow of words and healing. Because I channel the healing council, it's like a sound. So I do a lot of sounds, and I trace like kind of secret geometry symbols, and I bring lights in the physical body. So it's very full on and mind blowing, like this kind of. So I call it trance channeling because it's a being inside my body, and I'm in full trance. Like I sweat like crazy after that. Yeah. I cannot even put mascara on because otherwise it's like a cover.
End up with streaks across it.
This wild beast,
Hey, so unfortunately, Hollywood has not always set us up for, let's say, understanding what you do. And some people might go, why would she let something, whatever that is, inside her to do this? Why would she do that? That's maybe a bit scary to some people. What would you kind of say to that?
I say that in the end, like we are responsible of our body. So if we are in our full sovereignty, we do not need to have anyone coming inside our body. Like if our soul says no, then nobody's gonna come in. It's just because this is my soul mission. My soul mission is to be a trance channel, and I'm finally connecting to that, which had been coming for like over 20 years of intense training and learning and facilitating. And so now I finally got my thing. And so it's like, for me, I have done that through thousands of lifetimes, and it's my soul mission. But I do not necessarily say that everybody can have a physical, somebody coming into their body, but like all of us, we can have, like communication. Like I need to find a difference between that kind of soft channeling, but it's powerful at the same time. But like we all want reassurance. We all want to know that we are kind of on the right track, fulfilling our soul mission, connecting with our loved one, feeling the love and all of that. And that is achievable for all of us.
Cool. So there's definitely an element of permission there. It's not like somebody could go, oh, just fancy popping into Cendrine for a while.
Yes,
there's definite, it's like it's been a choice and a mission of yours. And that's why, this is an acceptance of it from yourself, which you allow it to happen. And then you work with that being to give the messages that come through. So nothing to be scared of, allowed to manage your own being with beings type thing. So that's cool. Thank you for clearing that up. So how, for somebody, just starting out, having some experiences, maybe hearing some things and kind of going, I don't know what that is. Am I going a bit crazy? What's happening here? Would you have any advice? Is there anything that perhaps you did on your journey that may help other people in that way that are just, starting to learn?
Yes. So the first thing is that connect with other people like you, Lorraine. I know that you facilitate as well, and you're amazing at, being a teacher and a mentor to other people. So it's like connect to all sorts of people, not only people who can teach you, but your friends and family members and randoms. Like if you feel the connection, if you talk to someone and it's buzzing inside of you, I feel like I really need to share what happened to me the other day. Like, do it. Chances are that person will have gone through the same thing. It's like, because all of us have at a certain stage. It's just that we block it because it's not generally what we talk about, right? But no, we don't get burned down, like it doesn't happen any longer. So I have actually never met anyone who's been really rude to me when I share about these things. When I first started, I needed to share around, and I wasn't sure, I wasn't as connected as I am now, and I was really much like still hanging out, in workplace when people would not, know anything about that. But I would kind of share a little bit, and often they would say, yes, me too. Like when my grandma died for a couple of months, I could really feel her around. That's freaky, right? And so it's kind of, when we connect like this first, it gives us reassurance that we're not crazy and that it is real, because a lot of us, we want to deem that as unreal, but it's just yet, like most people are not. But if it happens to you, it's because you're ready. You are ready to open up. So it is always that happening when it's not a challenge, but when the experience comes, it is because the experience is your teacher already. So the experience will teach you how to navigate those waters. To navigate them easily is to go it with the current. Yes. If you swim against current, you're going to get exhausted and end up on another shore that you didn't want to end up at. If you start floating with the current and swimming in the same direction, trusting that you can swim, you can breathe, and basically the water, the flow got you, then you will get to the shore of your life and your next stage of expansion.
Awesome. That's a really great analogy, actually. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yes, you're welcome.
Kind of surrender to the process type thing.
Yes.
So in the work that you do, what are you kind of offering right now? So if I'm a person looking at Cendrine and what can Cendrine do for me, when would I come and see you? What would I come and see you for?
So I do trance channeling of the Arcturian healing councils. So that's a 2.5 hour session. So it's like 1 hour I do in the background. So before the session, which happens on Zoom actually, because I do not take clients in my space any longer, because I've got the calling to really do it live like this, because I can access worldwide, but also this is my sacred sanctuary, and it works perfectly like that. And I can be my pajamas below, nobody I'm not, but anyway, but like for an hour, I work like in a trance state. So I do meditation, I go in a trance, and for an hour, I already work with the Arcturians on your energy field. So I'm going to clear everything that I can clear, and I'm going to anchor you deeply into Gaia, because then when we go live like this, so it's 90 minutes, then we can go into like, full-on healing and ascension work. So often we clear the horizontal line. So it's like past lives, ancestors, and inner child. So we clear that. Okay. Sometimes we need to revisit. So the Arcturians tell me, like they will go like 8 generations back to the mother, needed to connect. And it's like coming. And then we have the representation, like of that person coming, and then we can work through healing. Or sometimes it's past life, like so many past life here, and then we need to revisit that, but not always. So first we clear that. So we clear all the way as well to DNA level. So we shift the programming of the DNA all the way to cellular level. So it's to remove all the outdated things that no longer serve us, to switch that off. And then from there we start connecting. We're connecting to our star seed. So a lot of people, always amazingly uplifting, because like we can go into the Palladians and the Arcturus and like all these galactic dimensions. It's super badass. And a lot of predictions come because I work with the galactic team. So like actually I have had clients who have reported like proper physical healing. So I want to put a disclaimer. I'm not a healer. I don't say I'm a healer. I just facilitate this. If people are ready to receive and do what they need to be doing, which is like eat healthily, exercise, and and so on, then the healing is there. But I have had people like reporting like amazing shift into their physical body, like healing things that they had never been able to heal. So I'm always like, ooh, always a little bit like, really? There I go. Yeah. But then that predictions come so often, which is really awesome, is that telepathically we feel questions in the person field. So I say to the person, space will be created at the end so I can answer your questions. And we arrive at the end, it's like, do you have questions? No, you have answered everything already.
And what you were saying before is like hugely important, right, in terms of the healing, and that people will be ready because they have come to you, so they're ready for something. They're looking for some change or some relief, or you know, the release of something. They know that they need something, so that's why they come to you. But then that key thing was that owning of their journey, right? And that they have to be ready to receive, and also to have ownership of their own lives, in terms of almost, you can do as much healing as you like, but if you're, you know, not doing those things around it, then you can kind of come back in a different way, because once those things are cleared, they're cleared, right? But different things can manifest if you're not buying into your own health and your own journey as well.
And then there's always more layers coming. So like, I've worked on certain past life for freaking 20 years. And then 2 days ago, like 2 of them still came. And finally we got to the root, because it was a DNA a programming that was there. And I didn't have that awareness back then to be able to shift that DNA, but it happened like 2 days ago. It's like, oh, finally relieved. But what I wanted to say is that with these sessions that I'm now offering, I work with people who have already concepts about these notions of spirituality and like sovereignty and really owning our shit, because I'm not there to babysit people. So like, I really hand people power. Like I do not say, like, I do not create dependence. It's like, I'm there to facilitate this. It's extremely powerful, and then, you know, after that, people receive integration video, like when I teach about more like restorative yoga, to be able to integrate that all the way on a cellular level. But it's not for everyone, and I am happy with that, because it's full on.
As I said, this is some really powerful stuff, right? You're working on all levels, like you were explaining before, and it can really be a journey with the stuff that comes up as well. So but
and so
I guess
sorry.
I was gonna say, if you're ready for, you know, some really powerful shifts, if you're really kind of like, I'm done with this, I need a really big change in my life, then that's probably the people that you're looking for, right? They're ready to make that big step. This is baby steps.
And if people are curious, I've put a lot of gift actually on my website, so people can experience it without having to pay for a session, because a lot of people is like, what the hell is this? What is she talking about? So like on my website, I have like 3 videos, and it's like all channelings, and so people can experience that, and like it's amazing. So if you want to try that, then you can see if it's for you or not. Like, I have had friends saying like, it was really full on for the video, I really loved it, but I know I need a couple more months until I can have a one-on-one, because it's like so intense.
And it's about the right time, isn't it? And you kind of know when is the right time to do certain things, and like you say, it could be almost like you go and you watch the video, and you might go, okay, not quite yet, but then you know it's there. Or you might equally go, oh, now I just want, you know, right now, I'm totally ready. So it's good. So talking about that, how do people get hold of you? What's the best way to get hold of you?
On my website, cendrines.com, and as well, I'm present on Instagram, and I started my YouTube channel as well, and I put a lot of videos and activations there. So like this morning, actually, I did a 2-hour transmission with a friend, which was a Q&A about hot topics like the 5G, the event, vaccination, all of this stuff. And it was like,
I was going to say, all the easy stuff.
It was like so next level. Like, we couldn't believe it. We were crying at the end because it was so beautiful. I cut the crying out of the video, so it's not on YouTube, but so all of that. And I just wanted to say that I have actually launched a course. So I revamped it. It's a Galactic Intuitive course, and it's really to teach about intuition. And I find it's a great course because it really takes people on where they are at. So like, if people have zero clue about the intuition and spiritual world, they can already start there, because it's like self-development, spiritual growth course, but woven around intuition, there's a lot of self-healing, but as well, there's a lot of activations from the Arcturians, and it's smaller activations. Like some of them are really powerful, but others are smaller. And I make the price point very affordable because this needs to go out, because it's really good and it's really going, like it's changing people's life already. So this is my other offering. So these are the two offerings that I kind of focus on at the moment.
Okay, so and just to reiterate, so the best place to go to is cendrines.com, and they can go in and check that out and see what you're offering. And obviously this changes through time as well, so you know, depending on people watching the video, there may be different offerings at different times as well, so that's great. But essentially, if you go there, you're bound to find something that will relate to you at that point in time.
I offer a lot of free content. Yes, I have a mailing list. I send like weekly emails, and it's values. So like, yes, I put a lot of free content out there because it needs to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so that's great. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
I think that at this time in age, like, it's really good to remember that we are doing great and all will be fine. And even if things are changing in the world, basically we've got this. It's not the first time that humans have to evolve, and we're still here, we're still standing. We haven't been eradicated, and it's not going to happen. We're just going to come stronger of whatever we are facing. And it's part of human nature. So we can all tap into that power and that, you know, that deep knowing, the wisdom of the heart, and then we can navigate through any waters.
Perfect. Hey, so thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you, Lorraine.
For spending that time. It's awesome, and look forward to catching up. Thank you.
Thank you.